Breaking news, survivors. This is Eerie Knight of the Pseudoposse reporting live to you all on the latest Alpha 22 version 1.0 news. We've got the new armor system, character model and animation updates, new zombie variants, updated animal models, finally, new vehicle models, random world generation improvements, new art, visuals, POIs, game optimization, and last but certainly not least for all you console owners, Alpha 22 coming to you all. With so much to cover, let's just dive into it. So we originally made this video just before the major announcement of version 1.0 release of the game, but here it is. With Alpha 22, 7 Days to Die is leaving Alpha and entering its full release. What does that mean for all of you and all the promised content that is yet to be finished, like bandits, factions, a story, etc.? Well, we'll still be getting all of that, except instead of calling it alphas, it will just be updated versions of the full release. So instead of Alpha 23, 24, yada yada, it will be something like version 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. You get the idea. Older alphas will still be available on Steam to play, but this will be only available for PC. The Fun Pimps also released a roadmap with version 1.0 landing in June, with the console release following shortly afterwards sometime in July. By the end of 2024 will be the first major update, which will include a new weather system and biome progression overhaul, a wardrobe system, and crossplay random generation for consoles. Within the first half of 2025, we'll finally get bandits, a UI overhaul, an event system, and quest type. And by the end of Q4 of 2025, there will be a trader overhaul, the aforementioned story, Steam Workshop support, and another new quest type. I'm sure all of this will be subject to change and we'll get additional details on these new features at a later date. There will be a discount on Steam starting from the 22nd to the 29th of April, after which it will increase to the full price of $44.99 on all platforms. As I mentioned, the console version will launch a few weeks after PC and will be the same game with the same content except for the following limitations. There won't be random gen or level or world editors. These things, along with crossplay, should arrive on console towards the end of 2024. This version 1.0 news was a bit unexpected, but for us playing the game and waiting for new updates, it won't change much from our end. However, it is an amazing milestone for the devs. So I'd like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to you all for creating such an amazing game that has drawn such a wonderful community together that share a deep passion for it. Now, let's dive into all the details we currently know for Alpha 22 version 1. Armor is seeing a huge facelift, not only in appearance, which looks way better than the current offerings, but you'll no longer have the individual clothing and armor options. Reason being, layering the armor on top of clothes not only causes clipping issues, but you also look rather, bulky. Instead, the armor and clothing systems is now just the armor system, which consists of different themed armor set pieces. The Fun Pimps have released a bunch of images of various armor sets, but they were also nice enough to mention all the planned armor sets for Alpha 22, so I'll do my best to match up what's listed here with what images they've revealed. I'll make my best guess, but if you disagree, let us know in the comments which armor sets you think they are. Anyways, for light armors, which are analogous to the old padded armor with no movement penalties, we've got the Lumberjack, Enforcer, Preacher, Rogue, and Athletic. The last three I couldn't find any released images, though it could be argued that the guy on the far right might be a rogue. He does look rather roguish, but alas, I think it is a different armor set. Agree to disagree? Moving on. Medium armor. Akin to the military armor of Alpha 21. We've got the Farmer, Commando, Ranger, Scavenger, and the last two, Assassin and Biker, I believe are not shown. And finally, for heavy armor, which would be equivalent to the current iron and steel armor types in Alpha 21, we've got the Nomad, Nerd, Raider, and Miner, which I don't think have been revealed. Additionally, we've got the new plant fiber type gear and also Mr. Cowboy, which doesn't seem to be included in that Alpha 22 armor set list I showed previously. Now, it could be one of the names on the list, or it could be covered under the disclaimer that this list is work in progress and or subject to change. We've also got this really cool heavy armor set, which was revealed last year as the new Player Marauder armor set, which should be noted is not included on that list. So either the armor has changed its name and is on the list, or they just left it off the list because reasons. Anyways, let us know if you disagree with any of my armor selections in the comments. You can mix and match armor pieces, though you may not want to, as each themed armor set will have a completion bonus that will boost your abilities or stats in some relevant category. It does seem like wearing a few items from the set will net you some partial bonuses, so I imagine it will work much in the same way like the perk books. As you read a perk book, you'll get that bonus, and upon reading the last one, you'll get a bonus perk. With armor, my best guess is it will work similarly, and that putting on a leg armor piece will unlock a certain bonus, and wearing all of the armor pieces will net you a final bonus. Pure conjecture on my part, but I think it sounds reasonable. Anyways, in other news, the player character models have long been left on the shelf while all the zombies have seen new animations and HD textures in the last few updates. Now it's the player's turn. We'll still have the ability to create our characters through the character creation UI, which will look different with presumably different options. Sadly, gone are the outrageous hair and color schemes you could do. Instead, we've got these objectively better looking player models, yet I'll always miss the old green. However, the models are much more detailed and look more realistic. It looks like you'll still be able to change hair color, age, and other metrics for each of the base models Alpha 22 will launch with. The player animations look much smoother and natural versus the jankiness we had previously. And it should also be noted that the first-person view of the player hands now will reflect the gloves you are wearing. Yay! In other news, some old news. While this update definitely centered around the character models and armors, zombies are still getting some love as they've had in previous alphas. Individual zombies will now spawn with one of several texture variants, which can include different clothing, hair, skin color, to name a few. Here are some examples such as Marlene, Hawaiian Guy, Hazmat, along with Businessman, Joe, Steve, and the Nurse. That will go a long way to make it feel like not every zombie type is an identical twin. Variety is always better. Animals are also getting some love. They've been untouched for ages, but now they are also getting a makeover. From left to right, we've got the stag, mountain lion, bear, pig, the rabbit down in front, the coyote, wolf, and bear. The pig is definitely a newcomer, as we previously only had the boar. And speaking of boars, Grace herself is going to get a brand new terrifying look. It also looks like the direwolf is getting a new look, which will more visually separate himself from the regular wolf. In some recently released images, we can see what the new bear and zombie bear looks like. And there even looks like there's going to be a zombie stag variant. At this time, it doesn't appear that all animals will have their animations updated, save for the mountain lion, which looks ready to rip to shreds its unsuspecting prey. I suspect the other animals will have their animations fine-tuned in future alphas, but for now, we can all enjoy the new models. All the vehicles will be updated, and not only that, the appearance of the vehicle will change based on the mods installed in that vehicle. And good news for anyone that plays with friends. The gyrocopter will now have a passenger seat, which is amazing. So now you don't have to trust your equivalent of your Taco Bear teammate to fly in a straight line without crashing. In other news, Random World Generation is seeing several improvements, including better performance, faster road generation with better road smoothing, and even the capability for roads to carve through mountains. However, carving does not equate to tunneling, as that would require knowing the length of the prefab tunnel before generating the mountain, and thus would need to stretch and shrink it properly to fit, which would be quite challenging. There will also be updates to the Random World Generation UI, and for the generation itself, the biome generations will place less blocky biomes and may put one biome in the center of the map. Last bit of news, the Burnt Forest biome is back, baby! It will once again spawn in the Random World Generation. The prop art populating the world will also see some more improvements, including junk littering the road, newspapers, pallets of cardboard and recycled cans, tents, and the ability to place blocks on top of road paint, which is extremely awesome. There's also some new visual effects, like the flame and smoke from the burning barrel, and the new blood and gore effects for zombies. As with any new alpha, there will also be new POIs added to the game, which include a cool new Tier 4 army camp, a Tier 5 school, a Tier 2 commercial business trip, and what looks like a Tier 4 or 5 hotel. This alpha will also come with some optimization and performance enhancements, complete with an update to Unity 2022 LTS, which for me will require me to update a bunch of my weapon and enemy mods, More news on that after Alpha 22 launches. This has been Eerie Knight reporting to you all live the latest news coverage of Alpha 22. Smash that like button and subscribe so you can stay current with all the latest information. I'd also like to thank all of our Patreon supporters for their generosity. And on that note, hold on a sec, almost forgot. What's coming on the horizon? Well, the ever-elusive bandits are coming, but not for Alpha 22. Also, weather improvements, improved biome progression, story and factions, and Steam Workshop support are all coming in a later alpha. Stay tuned, my friends. This is Eerie Knight signing off. See you all in the next one.